gonna do, y'all. We back for the last final stretch. I think. We'll see. It's 9 o'clock. Just check the volume on this bad boy. Oh, hold up. I'm alive? E-Rock Lado. I don't know, this thing's acting like I'm not live. Is it? Oh, there it is. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Oh, there it is. Mic check, 1 2. Okay, there you go. Weird, I didn't get no notification or nothing. Anywho, took the fam to this little deal at Warren Theater. They had like a bunch of, sorry, taking my belt off. Had a bunch of like different kinds of police vehicles, and firefighter stuff, helicopters, that the different channels use for weather, and all different kind of organizations and foundations and all kind of stuff. But it was out in the parking lot, and a bunch of free stuff and food and stuff like that. Pretty cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk to Young Shell and get 7.3 started. Targeted tragedy. If you have a moment, Iraq Guild wants to take stock of the current crisis. Oblivion may be lacking the finer details in certain areas, so I'd like you to lend your perspective to the conversation. At least I think that's 7.3. It's not. I don't think it's. It has to be. To drag you into our meeting, we need to get a better handle on the threats Alexandria is facing right now. Not at all. Much has happened since the state funeral, and a clear idea of where things stand would be beneficial for us all as well. Excuse me. First things first then, let's discuss the state of the machine malfunctions. Every single sector reported instances of sentries attacking citizens without provocation, and vehicles suddenly becoming unresponsive to controls. And while these malfunctions were resolved fairly quickly, they nevertheless resulted in a considerable number of injuries and deaths. But you haven't heard anything about new incidents since then, right? Right. No additional reports have been logged, as far as I know. That's the good news. What's the bad news? The bad news is, I tried to take control of the soldiers when they started hurting people, but they wouldn't listen to me, even though I have the king's authority. Once things calmed down, I was finally able to make them give up their weapons, but if it happens again, I don't know if they'll ignore me like before. The King of Resolve's authority is about the highest there is. Who is this man that can override it with such impunity? Calyx. He lived in the age of the storm surge, as I did. Lest you forget, he was known for his advancements in electrope technology, and it was he who established preservation for the purpose of furthering his research. The wasting disease which afflicted him, however, was said to leave him scant years left to live. He must have chosen to undergo conversion into an endless, that he might continue his efforts into the present day. Preservation's early goals seemed noble enough. Exploring treatments for leaven sickness, designing Everkeep's core system, that sort of thing. Why harm the people he was ostensibly trying to help? I do not pretend to fully understand Calyx's motivations, only that he appeared incensed by what he saw as mankind's failings. He asserted that the strategy of adapting our species through generational succession was outdated, that evolution now requires us to forsake bodies of flesh in favor of eternal preservation. We've already seen how he employed the simulant to convince Alexandrians that endless conversion is their only hope for survival. Eternal life is assured for the 5,000 who register their neo-regulators. But this is merely one part of Calic's greater plan. He wants the key to interdimensional fusion. With that relic in his possession, he will draw ether from the reflections and expand his efforts to create endless 1,000-fold. I wonder about the void. Like death and rebirth. And you just keep being reborn. If we mean to foil Calic's schemes, then our only option is to determine where he's hiding and put him down. Which, unfortunately, is easier said than done. I've been scouring the terminal we found in the depths of Everkeep, but I failed to uncover even the slightest traces of his activities. Give me a little more time, though, and I'm sure I can sniff him out. I'll help you. While Gulu, Jha, and Shell are working on that, I think I'm going to take a look around town. I want to make sure no new problems have cropped up, as well as search for any information that might lead us to Calyx. You're welcome to come along. Another malfunction could happen at any time, and I'd be glad to have some brawlers at my back. Hear, hear. I don't know. The blue is, I prefer it to be red, but count me in, but them feet is blue that I got. Raha and the others are helping Oblivion patrol the other levels of the keep. So shall we stick to the streets of Solution 9? Sounds like a plan. Thanks, you two. I appreciate the company. I have to speak with the city's administration about bringing the Landsguard. I want our soldiers around to protect those who are moving to Toli Alal. Alphinaud and Alizé will be joining me for the meeting, so the three of us can cover that sector as soon as we're done. If I may, I'd like to join Erock's group if you'll have me. The more mouths to ask questions, the merrier, as long as you're aware of the dangers. Thank you. I'll do my best not to be a burden. I'm more worried about you, Guild. Don't do anything stupid. You'll change your tune once we get back with the goods on Calyx. Then the drinks are on you. Come on, let's continue this outside. Ooh. What up, young Gold? Fiend, what you got? I will do my utmost. I will do my utmost to ensure the happiness of Alexandria and its people. Kryal, the city looks as though it's regained a sense of normalcy. Alas, the people will not soon forget recent events. Geode. What the problem is? Sorry, I was off in my own little world. Shall we get started? People seem uneasy. Are you alright, Guild? Let's see what there is to see. Are you alright, Guild? Me? I'm well enough, given the circumstances. It was the Queen's fondest wish that her subjects remain shielded from the horrors of death, and so they were for the longest time. Then, the moment mortality once again becomes an unavoidable fact of life, they're greeted with an outbreak of bloody violence. Many are bound to give the endless alternative serious consideration. Indeed, and I do not blame them for that. It is only natural that such thoughts should come to mind. What I cannot forgive is the way Calyx wields fear and misery to manipulate people into making that choice. No one, not Calyx, nor anyone else, should dictate how we cope with the specter of death. As one who lived as an Alexandrian, I wish to put the choices for this country's future back into the hands of its citizens. And you think we can handle that responsibility, after everything you've seen of us? It is what I've seen that has convinced me you can. I awoke 4 centuries later to find our people living and laughing beneath Alexandria's banner. Though surprised and bewildered, I was overjoyed to see it so. You all deserve to be happy. Well, then, we'd best not let you down. Now, I suggest we move as a group. We don't know if or when a battle might find us. Oh, I believe someone came prepared for such an eventuality. Okay, she got her book, cuz. Is that the grimoire you retrieved from the old castle? Yes, my parents gifted it to me when I was a child. They were adamant that I should learn to protect the things important to me. I was fortunate enough to have a tutor in the arcane arts, so I lay claim to some small measure of skill. If that's the case, it might be better if we split into 2 groups after all. 'Twould certainly be more efficient for information gathering. I guess that makes sense. The 2 of you can take the west side of the recreation zone. E-Rock and I will take the east. Very well. We shall end our patrol in the plaza just past Trueview and await you there. Let's do the rounds then. We'll see what's what and chat to the people we meet along the way. Pay special attention to anyone who looks overwhelmed or overly excited. Hopefully that will earn us a tidbit or 2 we didn't know before. Hi! Oh! Are the sentries and air wheelers safe to be around now? I just know it's going to happen again. Then maybe next time I'll be the one who dies in a horrible accident. I need a neo-regulator. Becoming endless is the only way. Even Queen's Fiend said so. Is that so? You want to hear my story? Well, I appreciate you offering a sympathetic ear. There's not much to tell. If you must know, a good friend of mine died when those machines went crazy. His air-wheeler dropped right out of the sky. He didn't survive the crash. So-and-so fool wasn't wearing a regulator. I know that's not so strange these days, but he'd never bothered with one. He was at peace with the idea of dying someday, and I thought I understood what that meant until it happened. What has me in such a fine mood, you ask? Well, I've just registered my new regulator. I was leery of becoming nothing but memories at first, but now that I've gone through with the registration, I've never felt more at ease. Also, once it was done, the regulator displayed the current numbers. Of the 5,000 slots available, over 3,800 have already been filled. So if you're still hesitant, you've not much time to make up your mind. Mark my words, friend. When there's only a few slots left, it's gonna get very ugly. E-Rock. A word. feel like there was a new factor in these stories we've heard. One we hadn't considered during our discussion with everyone in the back room. People are still deathly afraid. The fights are likely to break out over the neo-regulators. That a victim of the violence wasn't wearing a regulator. This one. The fact that nearly 4,000 people have registered is worthy of its own report. But are you sure there wasn't anything else? Huh? The victim of the violence wasn't wearing a regulator? Oh, I thought that was obvious already, though. Yes, that's it. What? Of course. It was a person without a regulator. I thought that was already obvious. Oh well. The vast majority of residents have always worn regulators, so it's not a detail we'd normally think about. With the supply of souls cut off, though, more and more people have been going without them. We need to look into the casualties from the recent attacks and check whether or not they were equipped with regulators. I thought that was obvious. Like, what's his goal? To get more people on regulators. To fill up the 5,000. So if people are going without regulators, he's gonna, like, attack them so that the people that have yet to choose will be like, oh, I need one. You never know what'll happen. I thought we were talking about that the whole time. Let's ask around the streets, over to the east. It was pretty chaotic at the time, but maybe we'll find eyewitnesses who can help us confirm if this was a pattern or not. It ain't worth it. I'll just sprint over there real quick. Hello, how are you today? Please let me know if I may be of service. Citywide casualty data unavailable. Government officials are currently processing reports from all affected zones. Can you narrow it down to the recreation zone then? You must have some estimates on hand. Recalibrating parameters. Injured 87 individuals. Casualties 19 individuals. Casualties equipped with regulators 0. Huh? Who are you talking? No. What you want, boy? You wish to know if the people who died in the machine rampage were wearing regulators? I'm sorry, but I was assigned to clearing away debris. I didn't see any of the deceased. No bodies were present by the time I arrived, so I assumed the ushers had already done their work. I do remember there being patches of white dust scattered about that were quite a chore to clean up, but nothing else worthy of mention. That's right, they were turning to dust. That's right. E-Rock, I think it's time we rejoin Cryon's Fiend. I was half joking with my boast to Shell, but we may have stumbled upon something major here. We should share our findings and keep pursuing this avenue of inquiry. Didn't Cryo say to meet them in the plaza just outside of True Vu? Let's get going. Yeah, I mean, when I first saw it, I thought, like, there's all the aether going. It's just dust. They weren't wearing regulators, though. Huh? We've finished our patrol as well. Did it not seem that more people wanted neo-regulators than before? So, essentially, you're saying that the people who were killed by malfunctioning machines weren't wearing regulators?
Well, the numbers are still tentative and only apply to that one zone. We don't know how they'll stack up against the overall data, but this is definitely more than a coincidence. I think it's safe to say that anyone who had removed the regulator was a priority target.
Now that you mention it, the person I was treating for injuries wasn't wearing one either. But why? Why are they being targeted over everyone else? I thought it was to get people to want the new regulators. Based solely on the lack of neo-regulators, we cannot judge if a person has no desire to become endless, or if they simply fail to acquire one of the limited devices. But those who wear no regulator at all, they have clearly rejected the old system of using souls to revive themselves. But another way, they have chosen to live their lives in the knowledge that death is an inevitability.
Which rejects his worldview, so that would make him mad.
The chances that such resolute people would wish to become endless are far lower, I would imagine. And so Calyx has chosen those least likely to accept his vision as victims to soak fear and panic.
But there was no need to kill anyone. With the way things were, people were already fearful enough. He could have found 5,000 willing citizens without all this madness.
But he wants a lot, though, for whenever he opens up these other realms or whatever. You make a good point. Perhaps his sowing of terror is in service to another scheme, or he had some other need for the lives he's taken. Using their souls for something? What are the dust found at the various sites done to the victims? I was wondering about the dust.
Right, the sanitation worker story. She saw no bodies, but mentioned piles of white dust, and it's white.
You know, think about the empty. What does that look like? White dust. Dust? But no bodies? Now where have I heard that before? Do you recall when we went to save Ernville from the sentries in the outskirts? That Usher Malachite told us much the same thing. When I arrived,
I found no body, only a pile of dust, which the wind quickly scattered. Confused, I questioned the residents, but none knew what had become of it.
that both stories speak of missing remains is suspicious enough, but the shared mention of this dust is too much to ignore. In that case, we should confirm if this substance was present at other sites and attempt to ascertain its nature. Following this thread may lead us not only to an explanation for the missing bodies, but also to the intent behind Calyx's murderous actions.
E-Rock, we need your help. I've lost control over the soldiers.
Oh, sorry, that's Little Lulu.
Over the soldiers in residential area. They might be trying to hurt people again. Oblivion members are on their way now, but are you close enough to join them?
So and so it. Our new investigation will have to wait. Let's go.
Third, yeah, third. Sorry, I keep moving my mic. Oh, that's nice. They just bring you over there. Gave him the haymaker.
Stay back! Stay away from me!
He's gonna keep watching.
Leave him alone!
Are you all right?
What happened here?
A sentry walked into my apartment, even though I'd locked the door and everything. I managed to run, but the man who tried to save me...
No weapons, which is to be expected, considering all the sentries were meant to be disarmed. Yet it was ordered to attack all the same, even if that meant using its bare hands.
I'll leave matters here to you. I'm going to do a sweep of the surrounding area.
Do you know anyone else in this sector who no longer wears a regulator?
Oh, I don't think I've seen Isadora and her boy with theirs recently.
Go to them, quickly!
Twins.
Wayakwe!
I'll be fine. But Isadora's in bad shape.
Oh no.
Mother!
Oh
Mother,
no.
please!
Isadora!
Right, they don't have regulators because they're that Levin sickness.
Oh, thank goodness. She wasn't struck anywhere vital.
I'm sorry. If only I'd gotten here sooner.
Everything will be all right. I promise to make your mother better.
Nice.
Thank you, miss.
Now they done switch spots.
Will she sleep like that forever?
No, not forever. She'll wake soon, I'm sure of it.
That's good to hear. Thank you for saving her.
Promise of reason. Or no, that's the vow. Never mind. Thought I could make a connection, but there's no connection to be made. She should recover in due course. I'm glad we arrived when we did. Forgive me, I was reckless. You shouldn't have had to waste time tending my wounds as well. Did you see our comrade back there? He stayed behind in the lobby, but I heard the sounds of fighting. I'm sorry. He must have fallen protecting the resident. Yeah, that's sad. The endless choice. Our comrade, you think he may have been struck down? If he is wounded or worse, I should go to him. Wait, please. It isn't safe, and you still need rest. Would you stay with Milos and watch over Isadora for me? We will tend to your friend. Oops. I thank you. Please be careful yourself. That man, this is awful. Why? Why is this happening? Isadora is going to be alright then. I'm so glad. I just finished my ministrations here. Our Oblivion comrade was beyond saving, I'm afraid. That brave soul, he gave his life to save another. He died protecting me. I don't understand why any of this is happening. That sentry was behaving normally, like any other. Then, all of a sudden, it tried to kill me. Weapons or no, Calyx commanded them to commit murder. Is it over? We came as soon as Wayakwe sent word. Wayakwe! Kwe! Sorry. I'm sorry, but by the time we arrived, it was already too late. Then Gyod could be in trouble too. Once we have this radius locked down, we need to find him. But why? Has something happened? Possibly. We're not sure what, but he stopped responding to our communications. Well, this is different music. Huh. Yeah, that's a different music. We need to prioritize securing the residential sector, though, at least until we regain control over the sentries. And we should search for Gyod. I agree, since most Oblivion members have sworn off regulators. If our theory holds true, then they could be prime targets for the next attack. Please do what you can to shepherd the residents to safety, but avoid the sentries at all costs. Our thanks. Here, take these communicators. We made modifications to them to prevent Calyx from intercepting the signal, and have been using them to coordinate movements with allies in the vicinity. Wayakwe has one too, so I'll ask her to keep hailing Gyod. Good luck and stay safe. I'm kinda hungry, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Gyod said he would sweep the surrounding area, so he shouldn't have ventured too far. Let's get going. Alright y'all, I may have to... I'm not gonna end the live stream, but... just real quick. Use the bathroom real quick. And just grab me a sandwich super fast. BRB. Super fast. Alright. That took a little longer than expected. Had to say the Lord's Prayer with the fam bam. Okay, let me check. Move the mic away from me because I'm going to be eating. And I don't want to be making a lot of noise. So, let me see. I'll be, chomping it while I'm all up in the mic. Y'all probably already heard me breathing because I got the sensitivity turned all high. Alright. Let's do it. Hopefully it's voice activations. Okay, if there's talking, I'm with no voice acting, I'm just gonna leave it mute and eat. Y'all can read it.
This is the only place left. Let them be safe.
Geode, are you there? Answer me, please!
I'm here. Sorry for the long silence. I've been busy.
Oh, you're alive! Thank the gods! Where are you now?
The radius next door. The lobby is secure. I'll scout the second floor. Then I'll join it.
Oh right, I forgot about them guns.
That dust.
Dust? What are you talking about? What's happening?
They're not just collecting souls. They're draining the bodies of corporeal ether.
What I tell you, draining of ether, what I say?
The dust that we saw was all that was left of the victims. They must have modified the soul cells.
Oh man, Warrior of Light. Probably should see where they take the gun to turn the ether in at.
Damn you! You can't be here! You need to run, now!
Dude!
A trap! Take care of the others, eh?
No!
No sign of him so far. This way, maybe? Geode!
Dang. Dang. Hit us with another test lean.
A shame. I had hoped to leave here with at least one more cell's worth of ether. But seeing how eager you are to interfere, I shall cut this foray short.
Calyx. What could you possibly stand to gain from these atrocities?
Use it.
Ether sufficient to generate 5,000 endless. How would you acquire it?
How would I?
Until I have the key, the reflections are closed to me. Thus do I make do with the sources at hand. 7% of Alexandria's current population will yield the energy to convert 5,000 into endless. With 11%, operations could continue unabated for 800 years. Our bodies are fated to decay sooner or later. These ones refuse the gift of eternal life, so what difference does it make if I return them to ether now?
Ooh, there's that logic. That's why all life has to be precious. Whether unborn or old.
I will not waste time and resources on meaningless conflict. This unit cannot offer you worthwhile resistance. Instead, I pose a question. Would you hand over the key if I promised to halt my harvest?
That's what I'm talking about.
It was foolish of me to even ask.
Indeed.
I return to my work then. There is much to do if I must take the key by force.
That music though. Man. Wicked white. I can't. There are no words. Bruh is dust on the floor. pile of dust, these ashes, are the soul cells he left behind. Was that his twisted way of returning Geode to us? That is twisted. So and so you, Calyx. So and so you and your callous cruelty. He was our friend. Even so, some might say every death was justified if it meant 5,000 Endless could continue their immortal lives. And if a reflection's stolen ether allowed for many more Endless, why, that too would be a noble sacrifice for the greater good. Sounds like the Asians all over again. Who could think that? Not I. Certainly, not I. We know only too well this is not noble in this sacrifice. And there is not noble. We have to stop him. We have to find Calyx and put an end to this madness as soon as possible. And under no circumstances can we let the key fall into his possession, Erot. It falls to us. We will thwart his plans here in Alexandria before he can terrorize innocents and reflections elsewhere. Hi. By the way, when you hear me say hi, it's H-I-E. My memories and yours. Oh. We should return to the back room. Shell and the others need to know what happened. No! Yes, I'll ask Wayakwi to meet us there as well. No! Are they gonna know before we get there? Or are we gonna be the one to tell them? Sad. Okay, I relay the message. No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Our dear Geode.
It's almost like an urn with ashes in it.
The soldiers. If only I'd been able to control them.
This isn't your fault, Gololja. The blame lies with Calyx, and with him alone. It's all so senseless. Why force his plans upon us when we're already happy? Living our lives. What does he even think life is? I'll never forgive Calyx for doing this. Or myself for being powerless to stop him.
These cutscenes are good.
Wait, where are you going?
Well made.
To clear my head. Don't worry, I won't do anything stupid.
Stay here and get some rest. I'll make sure Nostalgia stays out of trouble.
Thank you.
Things would have been far worse if you and Geode hadn't rushed in there. Many people are still alive because of you. And after adding what you discovered to the leads we've dug up, I'm hopeful we can determine where Calyx is hiding. But not right now.
Right.
We need time before we can move on. Just a little time.
Oh, Geode.
Geode, not Geode, my bad. What you got to say, Stoli? I assume you know better by now, but I hope you're not planning to try anything alone. We're all here with you. It's so sad. Seriously, my goodness. Makes your nose burn just to like 1%. 1% nose burn. I'm told that the members tasked with keeping residents safe return with the body of their comrade. They all risk so much. I wonder what it is about emotion that you feel it in your nose. I made a swift patrol of the other levels and confirmed that Calyx had carried out a number of targeted attacks, all to harvest more ether, it seems. I sure am glad that... And I don't care what Aaronville has to say. What up, Lulu? I got back controls of the sentries, probably around the same time Calyx left. I'm sorry I couldn't stop them. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. You got something to say, bruh? They brought back Joe's gun. Its rounds were spent, and its barrel was scorched, so you can be sure he went down fighting. It's so sad. Another comrade gone. Some days it's almost more than I can bear. Geode was an older brother to Nostalgia and me. Shell knew him longer though, and is surely taking it the hardest. And that's on top of what happened with Kakiwa. Do you think you could check on her? See how she's doing? She's like to put on a brave face if it's me or my sister. Sorry, Shell. Apologies, my mind was elsewhere. We need to press on with the hunt for Calyx, but I can't seem to focus. I should be better than this, I know. Is there anything I can do? As you said, you need time to work through it. You can't help yourself, can you? Still, I appreciate the concern. Kakiwa used to say, the best thing to do with grief was to let it all out. So I think I'll take myself over to Earth and Sky and say my goodbyes to Jode. Why don't you come along? I could use someone to blubber to if you've a shoulder to spare. I surely do. Right then, let's get out of Everkeep for a bit. That was sad. I get it. I get it. You know, I've never had a comrade to know what it's like to lose a comrade, but I know what it's like to lose family. It's a fair trek on foot, so I've arranged for a couple of air-wheelers. They've had their communications modules removed, so even Calyx shouldn't be able to seize control of them. Say the word and we'll set off. know, when you see somebody else lose somebody important, it reminds you of how you felt when you lost someone important. And you can't help but identify in some way. Ready? We'll be flying close to the pylons, so follow my lead. Even though these are not real characters, you know it's the sense of the thing, you know, the principle of the thing, the memory and emotion of it. Because I would take a return whenever oh, my bad, I missed it. Sometimes Geode would come along too, and we'd end up something. Does it surprise you? Our friendship was always had a competitive edge. What did they raced? Is that what she said? We would often talk about how one day we might fly our wheelers outside the dome. Wow. Asulani. Almost there. You shared the ground is clear before you touch down. Zah. Sorry if y'all are hearing me breathe. I know I got it turned, the sensitivity turned up high. Phew. That's helped clear my head a touch. You know, you might be the first person I've ridden with who wasn't an Oblivion recruit. As far as I remember, at least, the memories from my regulator days aren't exactly reliable. Come on, let's head inside. Hopefully the way will be clear of pests today. One of my nostrils is stopped up. And it's not clear pests. Thanks. We can usually avoid such encounters, but sometimes they wander in and block the only path. Not that it slowed you down at all. I've never seen you fight up close before, and the surveillance feed clearly didn't do it justice. Hopefully that keeps the route clear for a while, shall we?
Whenever we lost a comrade, the three of us would come back here to reminisce. Me, Geode, and Kafkiwa. Will you raise a glass?
Hesitate to drink out of cups. We have a bad history with cups.
Oh! What are the two of you doing here?
I had a feeling you'd show up. Would you like to join us?
I suppose I could spare a moment. They tell us Oblivion's founders disappeared some decades ago under mysterious circumstances. And it was Kafkiwa who revived our organization. You and Geode helped her with that, didn't you? Tell us more about it. You're keen to know too, right? What they were like back then. The mad things they got up to. That sort of thing.
She's got a nice voice.
Those were the days. It was actually right before the Reformation that I met Geode. I still wore a regulator then. I'd recently lost someone close to me. I'd also quit a long stint as an adapter to work at a bar of all places. It paid me to sit with patrons and keep them company. So Geode came in one night. It wasn't long before we got into an argument. First-time customer, but tempers flared. And then one of us threw a punch.
You got into a fist fight? What were you even arguing about?
Damned if I know. We were deep in our cups. I think we were both just frustrated and angry at everything. By the end of it, we were both sprawled out in the street. A pair of drunken fools. Then this odd machine stopped to lecture us, scolding us for obstructing the foot traffic and not taking better care of ourselves.
She doesn't even use feet.
I can't imagine you ever being in such a sorry state. The odd machine. That was Kafkiwa, I take it.
That it was. Once she was done upbraiding us for our unseemly behavior, she launched into a recruitment pitch. Kafkiwa explained that she wanted to protect the outside world from Zoralja's invasion, to keep him from bringing ruin to the place her beloved son lived. And if we were so intent on self-destruction, then perhaps we might consider risking our hides for a just cause.
She's like, do something better with your lives.
It was a lot to take in. I hadn't given much thought to what lay beyond the barrier, and learning that Kafkiwa herself was already dead was enough to make my head spin.
Yeah, how did she pass? It's never been explained.
But Geode and I were intrigued by her ideas. I wanted to see this future of hers come to pass.
She's a Viera. They live longer than regular folk. Like, significantly.
Geode often spoke of it. He told me that meeting Kafkiwa was what first taught him the value of remembering people.
And they haven't talked about it yet.
Like he was sharing a holy revelation.
Oh, but back then you hadn't yet taken on Oblivion's name, had you?
Is that so? I just assumed.
It hadn't been Kafkiwa's intention to carry on Oblivion's legacy, nor adopt the cause your parents championed. Not initially, at least. She wasn't even aware such an organized resistance existed. She did, however, suspect the presence of other dissidents, those who objected to resurrecting the memories of the dead in defiance of the natural order. In the hopes of identifying like-minded comrades, we began searching the core system for traces of unauthorized access. And that's how we found it. An anomalous sector in the back of the Neon Stein. According to Melancholy, the door to that mystery had remained firmly shut since she took over the business.
The back room.
The back room. We forced our way in, only to discover that the hideout had long been abandoned. Although the occupants were gone, the equipment they'd left behind contained records of a group calling itself Oblivion. After reading through their exploits and their vision for the future, we made the decision to carry on their work.
Nice.
were my parents' and Kafkiwa's hopes bound together.
And carried onward by Shale and Geode.
We could never have made it this far on our own, of course. Not without the strength of arms you and your friends provided. Losing comrades is a hard thing, but being here, thinking back on the moments we shared, I can see their smiles, hear their laughter. I feel their presence, and I know they're still with us. But these memories of mine are for me alone. Reminders of why I chose to do this. And why I'll stay the course.
Amen, sister. Stay the course.
Right. Time we got back to work. Thank you, everyone.
No, it's me who should be thanking you. Though the pain is still deep, I don't feel like I'm drowning in it anymore. Let's get out there and put a stop to Calyx. For you, for me, and for everyone who's ever believed in Oblivion.
Nice. Appreciate you helping me through this, and not only the grief, you helped me see that my comrades mean even more to me than I realized, which only fuels my determination. I'll be spending every waking moment working to bring Calyx to account for his crimes. I'll do my part, and you do yours. Oblivion needs you. What's a skill? Yeah. A darkness in the heart. This time I went back to locating Calyx's lair. I have a new strategy in mind, but it remains to be seen if it will aid in narrowing down the possibilities. I'll ask Kral for help. I want to re-examine the data, starting with that of her parents. After all, they were the first to break away from preservation and establish an organized resistance with Oblivion. There must be something in there that can point us in the right direction. What are your plans, Iraq? Giving somebody the sword. Iraq, is that you? Apologies for calling suddenly. I've been making the rounds in the outskirts, and I cannot help but feel as though something is amiss. I ask you to join me. Your perspective would be most appreciated. It can wait until you've finished attending to Shale, of course. Seems your plans have been decided for you. Go on. I have others to speak with before I return to the back room. Appreciate it. For 70 gil. Well, that's ominous music. Iraq, thank you for coming. As I mentioned, I would benefit from your worldly experience. Perhaps it's my imagination, but the townspeople appear to be acting oddly, that is, even considering the current state of affairs. As I'm yet unfamiliar with the outskirts, I thought you might be better equipped to judge if their behavior is unusual or not. Would you speak with them and see what you think? I hope to be proven wrong. I've heard something's not right here. Bruh, this music tells me something's not right. I keep getting this one. Oh, please tell me you brought me more neo-regulators. Officially, they've all been handed out already. But I've heard rumors there were a few left over. Surely the government still has some. Or perhaps Queen's Fiend? I may not look it, but I was a hunter once. Back then, I hardly gave death a second thought. But now that I know the truth, it's all I can think about. There has to be a way to hold on. There has to. Bruh, that reminds me of a certain shot during 2020. They were like, where is it? Where? You're not wearing a regulator. Don't you know the end is coming? Well, it's your life to lose. Me? I got myself one of those neo-regulators and registered a little while ago. As soon as I did, a display appeared showing the number of registered users. Right now, it's sitting at 4,168. The upper limit was 5,000, wasn't it? It seems the total shot up right after those machines malfunctioned. It's only a matter of time before everyone's registered. I pity those who weren't chosen, but I'm going to be an endless. I'm going to evolve and live happily ever after. Good luck with that, brother. By good luck, I mean, it's probably not going to work out how you think. It never does, especially when you're guided by fear. Greetings. I remember when you visited with Queen Fiend. Come to check on her well-being, have you? Well, I can say that things are rather stressful out here as well. Without knowing if or when our machinery might turn murderous, the specter of death is ever present. People are terrified, and the clamor for neo-regulators has reached a fever pitch. I personally was fortunate to have claimed a new device early on, and have long since completed the registration. Death has no hold over me now. My friend, you can only claim that when Jesus is your Lord. Now, I must begin my prayers. Oh, the darkness draws closer, grows deeper. We must cast it out. Can't cast out regular death. And who are you praying to? So, what do you think? Was I right to worry? Tensions are running high. The fear is palpable. Yes, that's exactly it. People are overwhelmed by uncertainty and fear. And with each new registration, that fear inside them grows more insistent. How long until it drives them into full-blown panic? I guess that long. Looks like it's already active. Aaron, can you come to resolution? There's chaos and carnage! We have a problem. I'm already here with Lamonti and Alpha. Not Lamonti, no. I was enjoying the patch. Sounds like she wants us there in a hurry. We should go. Not Wolf Lamont. I was enjoying everything. Ugh. Oh, the back active again? All that ether they stole?
What's happened? Sorry to drag you out here, but I thought it best you see for yourself.
Death is your constant companion. Though you toil with diligence, death may come ere your reward is bestowed. Though your grand works be poised for completion, death may come ere you wake the following morn.
Your life will be required of you today.
Though you enjoy a life of peace and good fortune, death needs but one instant to claim you.
The words of Paul, oh death, where is your sting?
Your bodies are weak. Your heart, your brain, every fragile organ rolls the dice from moment to moment. Sheer chance deciding if they function or fail.
Nah, bruh. We have a sovereign lord.
Be you stoic or generous or righteous, no virtues tip the scales in that fatal reckoning.
That's true, however.
Only the blood.
choice is made without reason. The end is cloaked in terror. That is what it means to die.
That I don't agree with.
The announcement began after we finished our meeting with Gossen. As for its source, well...
Calyx. There is no shame in being afraid. It is that very fear which will drive you to conquer death. Let us set a new course for mankind. Let us preserve our existence unto perpetuity. Hope for it, wish for it, pray for it. We will become endless. With evolution's brilliance, will we banish the ever-present darkness of mortality.
Change isn't easy. No one ever wants to take the first step.
What's that same dude?
But this is the right path for us. What other way could there be? I'm gonna do it. I'm going to register.
Val Wuklemat! You couldn't have come at a better time. Please, you have to let us move to Tuli-Yolal.
It's too dangerous to stay here. Who knows when the next century will turn on us? Even if we wanted to become endless, there are no more neo-regulators to be had. Fleeing is our only option.
If the solution was as simple as leaving, then we'd all have left already. Did you not hear the announcement? For the living, death is a foregone conclusion. No matter where we go, or who we shelter with, we won't get another chance like this to overcome our fate.
Easy for you to say when you have that regulator.
The Landsguard are on their way as we speak, and arrangements have been made to see that you all will be safely evacuated. Tuli-Yolal will aid you in whatever way we can. So please, remain calm.
I want to help Alexandria. I want to save its people. But what can I do? I am not their queen.
But you are their queen. Fiend. Alright, when we gonna turn up? I'm ready for the dungeon. Let's turn up. Oh, hey, Alphina. For those deadly malfunctions, and now a citywide announcement, he has spent considerable effort recruiting his 5,000 endless, perhaps more than necessary even. We have the hopefuls who descended on the Montes dispersed for now. We can see tempers in the crowd were starting to fray. This latest wave of attacks may not have been as widespread, but people are reaching their breaking points. We have to stop Calyx and soon. No one cares what Wuklemat has to say. My apologies. The sign is not responding to any of our attempts to change the display, of which Calyx has access to the core system, which means that if he chooses to do so, he could deploy the soldiers beyond the barrier. Even if our people learn to live with death and decide to leave the dome behind, it will not be beyond his reach. Yet, if it serves to allay their fears even a little, I beg you, Wuklemat, please let them shelter in Tuli-Yolal.
We'll welcome any and all who want to come. We've already begun evacuations, and we'll be able to pick up the pace once the Landsguard arrive. In which case, we had best spread out and keep an eye on the crowds. The mood is tense, and we must prepare for possible violence. If you happen to determine where Calyx is hiding, though, we'll be ready to move at a moment's notice. Surely we'll find a clue of some kind soon. He can't elude us forever. Violence and fear. This is not the future she envisioned for her nation. I want my scions back, bro. I don't want Lucamat. Where's Thancred and Oriange and Stola? I like Sphene. She's cool. But I really don't care for anybody else. Tuliala would gladly welcome every last Alexandrian with open arms. But what of the nation the late queen was so desperate to preserve? What of that bright haven of peace and laughter? I won't stay here and let her legacy be sullied any further. I will protect Alexandria. That was the promise I made her at the last. But she betrayed you, did she not? Why do you feel this obligation? That's all. I saw myself in her, I suppose. We both felt the people's joy as our own, yet alone we lack the strength to protect them. There's so much that I love in this world, too much for me to take in my arms and keep safe, and that made me afraid. I needed someone who shared that love and fear, so together we could do what we couldn't do by ourselves. Or maybe it's simpler than that. Maybe I just wish that we could have been friends. Oh my gosh, get her out of here. So when she turned to me in her final hour, desperate to safeguard Alexandria's future, I swore that I would see it done. In the end, I think you both found the friend you needed. I would be yours as well, Sphene. Whenever you fall or struggle to rise, I'll come running to rescue you. Can you do the same for me? Oh, they're setting it up. Can we move past Whipple-Not Peas? That's how we'll protect the things we love. That's how we'll protect Alexandria. You're right. I don't need to say anything. Right, we got a bit sidetracked there. We should probably be on our way. Do we patrol or see if Shell needs a hand? There you all are. Lucamat, you go back to Tuliala. We'll handle it. Guluja. Ah, splendid. We were afraid we missed you. Alzay and the others said you were here. Good news, Iraq. We finally found a chink in Calyx armor. We discovered laboratories on Everkeep's 10th level that once housed a preservation initiative. Containment Complex 1029, it's called. And it's been falsely registered as a distribution center. In reality, it hasn't recorded any traffic in decades. We don't think this is where Calyx is hiding as such, but it may well contain clues that will point us in the right direction. I'm sorry it took so long just to get this far. If you're interested, what do you say we all go and check it out together? Thank you for all your hard work. It's a huge step forward. And up. We need to take the lift to get to the complex. I've cleared this expedition with the relevant authorities and have one of our people waiting to operate said lift. Let's not keep her waiting. We'll be using lifts for all the dungeons. We went down in the past, but it looks like now we're going up. Hi. So I'll probably do one more live stream, finishing up the 8-man fight and stuff. And then when the next patch comes out, it'll have the last part of the 8-man, and I'll probably just start with that and then do the endless kill. Let's see what Shell says. I'll share the method we used to find the containment complex once we're inside. It wasn't actually all that different to the story of how we stumbled across the back room. Cool. Sweet. Preservation laboratories. I shudder to think at what they were researching, but this is no time to be squeamish. An institute on preservation scale would have had many such facilities in the city. Yet I cannot help but wonder if this one is where my parents worked. Let's see if young Kal-El is on. He is. Ready to head on up? Next stop, the 10th level. Oh, that's why she's here, so she can be our tank. I do like all the new music, though. I'll give them that. And the cutscenes have been very well done.
So this is one of Preservation's laboratories.
It's so dark I can barely see.
Just a moment. If I can reroute the power to the circuit...
You got the lights working!
Smell how stale the air is. This room hasn't been in use for many years.
It was thanks to Kryl and Galulja that we managed to locate this place.
You may remember that my earring contained the control code for the gate to the Golden City. As it was Preservation that constructed the portal, we reasoned that the code to operate it might include a signature of some sort, unique to their organization.
So I took a closer look, and a line-by-line examination yielded a string of symbols identifying the code's author. We then began accessing the nodes for every door in Everkeep, seeking out control codes which contained those same symbols. After a grueling search, we finally discovered our prize behind door number 1860, the entrance to the facility in which we now stand. I'd probably still be at it if Galulja hadn't been around to assist me.
Nice.
I took breaks, but Shale never stopped working. Not even once.
I can contribute precious little else, I'm afraid, but I appreciate your kind words. In any case, this next part will require your helping hands.
We need to spread out and search for something that may lead us to Calyx. We're more than happy to help, of course, but I wonder, won't he realize we've found this place?
They hitting us with all the music. On this patch.
It's highly likely, and personally I hope he does.
Oh, okay. She said, I don't care. Y'all know our main objective. We're here to pick up Calyx's trail, and I've learned of a certain device that should help us do just that. I'll explain how as we proceed, but according to the information I was able to dredge up, the device in question should have been installed in the director's office. Alright, let me just check my mic real quick, see how we sounding. Okay, we sounded good. Now, as for where that might be, yes, this map matches my data. This room we're in is the Researcher's Commons, located in the western side of the complex. The Director's office is to the northeast of here. So, we should cut across this circular chamber in the middle, yes? Yes, we should, but fortunately for us, the interior door is locked. We need a security key with the appropriate clearance to open it. Judging by the mechanism, it'll probably be a card of some kind. Can't you know, work some electro magic? I'll try my best, but this type of lock is well before my time. It may take a while to crack it. And in case I can't, you might want to look around and see if anyone left a security card behind. Considering the state of the place, it doesn't seem like they've abandoned it, and it does seem like they abandoned it in some haste. I shouldn't be surprised if we found one. Very well, let's get searching, shall we? Hi. I expect we'll have the most luck looking where the researchers kept their personal belongings. Close cooperation will be necessary to overcome the obstacle barring your path forward. Helpful hints will appear in a different color. Pay attention to the information provided by your comrades should you find yourself unable to proceed. What? Abandoned paperwork, desk organizer, recycle bin, half-open desk drawers, notice board. I feel like it would be here, right? Appears to be This appears to be the only desk with the drawers already open. You can tell at a glance that the desk's former owner has left some things behind. You discover a card-shaped object. The electrode surface is marked with a bold level 1. Oh, could that be what we're looking for? Try it on the door and see if it opens. Watch it not work. I'm gonna be mad. The scanning device. Card-shaped object you hold looks to be of a similar size to scanner panel. You hold the card-shaped object up to the scanner. It opened. You did. You rock. A good thing too. I was getting nowhere with that outdated circuit. I'm curious though. Why would they abandon a facility like this? It was run by Director Demetrius, or so that terminal there told me. Perhaps there are more answers to be had once we venture further inside. And let's continue onwards. The door to the director's office is across the central hub. We gotta find some more key cards. Or not. It looks like we got an unlocked door. We could try the same card again, but going by the room's labels on that map, we haven't entered any of the actual labs yet. Not a single soul here besides us. No one cares what Ukama thinks. Scanner disapproves. No good? Maybe we need a different card. The scanner is demanding a level 3 security clearance to open the lock. So much as the delay chafes me, we'll just have to comb through the nearby room and hope we stumble upon the card we need. I start a search in the proto lab. The door is already open at least. We'll find a way through together, shit, I'm sure of it. This time. The way this room is set up, the canister inserted into the large device looks to be a soul cell. Could this be where they conducted their experiments to create endless? But we could probably spend days investigating this complex. Finding a way into the director's office must take precedence. Speaking of which, Gulajan mentioned a lock over in the corner that he couldn't open. Perhaps you could take a look? Data tablet. Preservation organization was unfamiliar to me. Gut feeling with the word medical practice. Correct. I'll go to 158. Oh. On 1580 or 00158. My patience. Check counts close selection. Okay. And I don't have no pen. Why y'all doing this to me? Oh wait, is that a pen? I need something to write on. Hold up. Hey, we'll be thinking we soft, we don't play. What's this? Okay, let's do this again. Okay, pen. Okay, let's take notes. Researcher, okay, let's take a look. Experiment 148. Submitting inference candidate 201930. 1930. We're considered for efficiency procedure review. Experiment 158. 115 I think that's the answer right there. Prepare to study to be included in the report. Alright then. 163. 9834. Okay, I think the answer is 11509. Let's see if I got it right. 11509. Woohoo! I got it right. There it is. That's a level 2 security card, not a level 3. Which means I have to go to that other door now. E-Rock, you got the locker open. And you found another security card. Oh, but does that say level 2? We need level 3, didn't we? Yes, that's right. Yes, but it's open more doors for us to explore. You did well, E-Rock. Reservation members led such surprisingly normal lives, leaving notes, losing their cards. I imagine they'd be more, what's the word? Bloodless? Mechanical? My parents were once part of the preservation, if you recall. Rude! It would seem the researchers who agreed with Calix and his philosophy underwent the conversion to endless entities. But I assume those who could not or would not eventually left the organization altogether. Oh, almost forgot. The researchers kept journals in their data tablets. The one I read doesn't explain much, but something big happened to the complex. And afterwards, it was decided that everyone would become endless. The writer was really happy about this. You could tell how much they admired Calix in his work. The entries ended after that, but maybe you can read more in the other tablet there. Right. Let's move this investigation to another room. Well, we have the Deutero Lab and the maintenance facility left to search. Both are accessed via the southeast corridor. So it's back to the hub and the locked door across the way, which will hopefully yield before our new security card. I'll take the old one. If you like, I doubt we'll have any more use for it. I'm getting sleepy. They're making me do too much. Let's get to the dungeon. What time is it? 10:52? Sorry, I ain't talking to nobody. I'm trying to get this done. I'm sleepy. Yes, it opened. But first, we're in our facilities. Let's start with the lab. Wasted my sprint. Sure, there doesn't seem to be any power here. No, none at all. It's possible air supply in the room, separate conduit, which means just you open the door. Look here, son above the car scanner. In case of emergency, backup power can be routed to the facility. So this room is down other branch of this corridor. Oh my gosh. We get it. Turn the power on. Oh no, not another game. Can somebody else do it while I lay back? I give people the sword. That's my duty. Everything else y'all need to do. Gauging power supply, no good. Starting air must be preliminary procedure. For an aerial reference, the power supply has been interrupted for an extended period of time. We need to reconfigure both the emergency generator and the circuit control panels. Shell, that's the emergency generator over there, isn't it? Yes, and by the looks of it, the same model as the one using Heritage found. But how does it empower the other lab? Ah, I see. You've got to play four simple games. Energy cable attached to the base of the terminal leads down the hall directly to the Deutero Lab, which means we need a way to connect to the generator to that cable. What about the patterns on the floor? Could this be a circuit we need to reconfigure? I believe we have the right of it. Using the controls of the panel set each of the tiles will create an unbroken path that the power will follow. I did this on Spider-Man so many times. What do I want to get for an instruction manual? Indeed, if you could look around for any written procedures. Oh my gosh. I'll keep digging around the terminal directories. Might I ask someone to operate the generator? I can do it. I've used this type of machine before. I'm going to try and reconfigure the circuit path E-Rock, of course. The rest of us can help by supplying E-Rock with whatever information might be found in circuitry configuration. I probably wouldn't be so impatient with this if I wasn't for the fact that I'm sleepy. Northwest panel, southeast panel, southwest, south. Yeah, this is. Well, if you're standing here, northwest, northeast. No, I'm not talking to you. See, can't you help me? This is a part of the warning sign behind the containers, where I could make out it said, "Caution, circuit will not function with duplicate patterns." I suppose that means only one of each circuitry pattern can be set at the same time. What? Easy breezy. It worked. We did it, E-Rock. The neural lab should now be fully powered. Well done, everyone. Information. Could we access certain dialogue before moving on? I was checking storage shelves, and one of the labs caught my eye. Preservation there. Early days is the title. Of course, I want to take a moment to bring up the contents. But here's something from our parents. Looks to be text-based account. I'll read it out loud. Preservation, an Alexandrian Institute of Technological Development, was founded by Calyx, an 11-year-old child prodigy. Approval for establishing the organization came during Alexandria's involvement in the storm surge, with Calyx designed for new defense solutions funded in large part by the Treasury. As the conflict grew in intensity and casualties mounted, Calyx funneled preservation resources towards the perfection of memory storage. Research into the field continued even after Storm Surge came to an end, with Calyx eventually electing to preserve his own memories in a virtual domain. So this account is from before he embraced his endless existence hundreds of years ago. I met him only once before the Storm Surge began. I was attending my father, who was then the reigning king of Alexandria. Calyx could not have been more than 10 years of age and required constant treatment for his debilitating illness. Yet still, he published theories so highly regarded that even the royal family was aware of his achievements. Life should not be lost to the injustice of death. Even now, I can hear the single-minded will behind his words. So it was that when war came to our kingdom, my father was quick to commit his unwavering support to this somber youth in his proposal for preservation. Several years later, the ensuing violence brought the death of both my parents. Overwhelmed as I was by my sudden succession to the throne, I suspect they spared me the report of endless research and other less urgent matters. So you had no way of knowing what kind of person Calyx was changing into. Did he change? I wonder. Perhaps he has ever been the type to value ideals over compassion, and I failed to see it at the time. Or perhaps he did change, but is still driven by those same deeply held beliefs. Mortality is cruel and unjust, and his role is to deliver mankind from this fate. Well, isn't it? If there is no God, there's nothing before, nothing after. Well, what else can it be? Whatever the case may be, we cannot allow him to shape our future. Let's press on, shall we? And that's why I believe that there's a God. something came from nothing and is going back to nothing? That doesn't make any sense. If I've done my job correctly, the door to the Deutero lab should be accessible now. I'll give everything once over just to be sure. Then, what was the point then? If something came from nothing and is going back to nothing, then what was the point? People are like, "Oh, you're just weak-willed and weak-minded. You need there to be a reason." It's not that I need there to be a reason. It's that it doesn't make any sense that there is no reason. Why did reason itself come from nothing? Energy current seems stable enough. Still, you should let me handle this one. Like anything that you care about, whether love or justice or what beauty, whatever. Like, it all came from nothing, supposedly. So what was the point? Oh, so that we could just... Why? People are like, oh, so you can enjoy the little time that you had. For what? I won't even remember it. There's nothing after this. That's why it doesn't make any sense. A security card, if you please. Oh, and a quick prayer that a shorted wire doesn't burn me from the inside out. Well, I really don't hope that doesn't happen. There has to be a God, bruh. And people are like, well, the universe has just always existed. That still doesn't make any sense to me. How can something impersonal that's existed for everything, for forever into the past, which that by itself doesn't make any sense if it's impersonal. Right, I'll get this door open. The universe has always been. Then how is there even a future if there's an infinite past? Whew, smooth as silk. Let's head inside and see what awaits. Now imagine you have a line that's traveling, and you can see the endpoint, and the endpoint's moving. But no matter how far left you go, there's never any beginning. But there's an obvious end that keeps moving. That makes no sense. That's what the universe would be if it always existed. Phew, something is smooth as silk. Let's head inside and see what awaits. Gods above, isn't that? They go with these wild songs again. Is that the key? A kind of key? A copy of a key? An unfinished key? An imperfect key? A failed key? The key to intervention fusion? That looks to be a schematic on the monitor. And they've used it to make another key. But isn't it missing the shard inside like the one E-Rock has? Ah, may have been laboring under a misconception. The key was originally a Milal relic. Once this treasure came into its possession, what does it mean by its? The chalice, or whatever that is? Preservation began working to harness the power to cross dimensions. Aside from the crystal, we can see that all the vessel's components were constructed here. So what might that tell us? Crystal itself is the key? This is just a device they made to control it? That would be the logical conclusion, yes, as my parents explained. Parents. They were sweet. The key remained shrouded in mystery. Preservation augmented it with electrode but never grasped the technology's underlying principles. To this day, not a single person understands the mechanics of interdimensional fusion. Not who imbued the key with its power, not when they did so, not who imbued the key with its power, not when they did so, nor why. Now it makes sense. Calyx can track the key because its vessel was made by preservation. I believe there is much we may learn in this room. On our next visit, I will have to enlist Y'shtola's assistance for a thorough investigation. I too am curious about a great many things, but pinning down Calic's whereabouts is our priority. Hopefully there's a security card here that grants access to the director's office. The research conducted in this lab appears to have been highly confidential in nature. Some of the personnel must have belonged to the organization's upper echelon, and that means higher security clearance. We should spread out and look for any cards they left behind. Remember, anything less than level 3 is no good to us. Wow, they are really dragging this part out. I mean, it's cool, but... I mean, I'm just sleepy. It's probably what it is. Wield cabinet drawer. I'm at me sleepy. Wield shelving. Probably the cabinet drawer. Straight looking shelves. Let's not have security cards. You find one. Level 3. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa, whoa, exactly what we need. Nice work, E-Rock. I actually wanted to go there first, but I was like, nah. Because normally it seems like things are always the furthest away, whatever the furthest option is. Oh, level 3. I should guess the director's office. So, what was it hoping to find in there again, Shell? You were saying that a certain device was going to help us? Right, I haven't properly explained myself, have I? I'm looking for a data relay. After we discovered this ostensibly abandoned complex, I performed a cursory investigation which detected a connection to an outside network. When I traced the data's routing, I confirmed traffic from a web of Everkeep security cameras. Considering the way Calix is always one step ahead of us, we must assume he's quietly seized control of the city's surveillance system and has been using it to monitor our activities. To monitor what you, as the key holder, are planning. I'm planning to give him the sword. There's not much investigation needed. Since Calix is the ultimate recipient of those transmissions, the flow of data is like the river that we can follow back to him. Which is why I need the data relay. If I can analyze the device, we can see where it's rerouting all the surveillance traffic. And you can pinpoint Calix's position. Alright. That said, he has done nothing to impede our progress, which makes me think I might be on entirely the wrong track. Maybe the reason he isn't stopping us is because he can't. Back in the old castle, Calix said he was measuring E-Rock's strength. What can he possibly dream of is stronger than him? Nothing. Oh, speaking of cameras, there was another thing I meant to mention. I found evidence that someone deliberately disabled the surveillance feed in this room. The most recent recording was also crudely deleted. I was able to restore the data, though, if you'd like to see it. Does it reveal who killed Epstein? I'll start the show then.
Are you really planning to leave?
Yes. The idea of eternal life. It's begun to frighten me.
As it should.
I struggle to renounce our conventional wisdom. Death is the means by which life prunes its branches, leaving the trunk to grow strong and tall. We die so that our species may flourish.
It's a false eternity.
What would become of mankind were we to halt that process? If unending stagnation is the fruit of our labor, then perhaps we strive for the wrong thing.
Your voice sounds familiar, but I can't quite place it.
Your argument is a rejection of Master Calix's vision.
I suppose it is. Perhaps such dread would not plague me, were I capable of sharing his perspective on the subject.
But I cannot. He and I are too different, in too many ways. I lack his extraordinary genius. I had no illness threatening to cut my life short, no singularity of will to cut away all distractions and focus solely upon research.
I have nothing but respect for his determination. The way he overcame his prognosis and seized the means to transcend death itself.
I think that's
But
Shiva.
I'm not convinced that this obsession with living is the right path.
That is her.
That's why I've decided to leave preservation and put all my effort towards building a legacy for the next generation to come.
Yeah, that's Shiva. I forgot her.
Surely you...
Shiva dead again.
Protocol, you understand. There can be no exceptions.
Wow. Wow. She only wanted to leave and he executed her. Woo! Dirty. I checked the images against the personal data, and the man who pulled the trigger was Director Demetrius himself. Everything I could find on him pointed to a deep infatuation with Master Calyx. The cameras in this room have been out of operation ever since that incident. Given that the recording was erased, I can only assume he was trying to conceal his grisly deed from the other researchers. I'm not surprised, given how my parents described their defection from the Institute. Oh yeah. They spoke of rushing me through a portal, even as preservation agents closed in on them. I dare not ask what became of them after that, but if it turns out they were captured by their pursuers... Well, they got a bullet. But they were endless, so... Was the other girl endless too? I can't remember. I'm sure they managed to escape. They did not regret their actions. It's true that. Right. The echo. Knowing you saw them as they were, your words give me great comfort. Oh, Cryle. It is sad. Reynard's fiend, thanks to the haven of living memory, I was at least able to meet my parents and learn what they stood for. It is enough for me to carry on. Even now, we don't know how the conflict unfolded between our parents and preservation. What we do know is that your mother and father cleverly expunged every last trace of their movements. They made sure no one could cross into the source or threaten their child's safety. Right, let's press on, shall we? This tale behind the key deserves a fitting conclusion. To the director's office. Oh my God, you guys. Hey, look at my... The scouts gave the orders to execute defectors. The more we learn about him, the less I understand. Another investigation put the data relay just past this door. Let's get it open, shall we? I don't want to hear your excuses, Kal-El. Just get through this door already. Let's see if he finished the patch. go. Let's head inside. Oh, sorry. There we go. Let's head inside. Now, to find that data relay. And don't be shy, everyone. Speak up if anything odd catches your eye. We gotta find the data relay, too? You're welcome with me. I might have need of that security guard. Can't we just get hot to it already? Oh, we had all the computers and screens. Huh? Red and blue, once again. Oh, there's one missing. Interesting. Oh, look at that. Let's see, that's a diamond. What's this one? Wasn't it a, yep, that's a rectangle. I don't see anything that looks like... No, I don't see anything that looks like it. What's that? Nothing. Okay. I thought I was figuring stuff out. So this terminal isn't connected to any outside network, so it can't be the data relay I'm looking for. The office is also smaller than the map suggested. I'm positive we're in the right room. What am I missing? Sorry, Uruk, could I ask you and the others to search the office for any clues to this infuriating puzzle? Beverage station. Cluttered side table. Soul cell storage case. Office shelves. It's always the shelves. You find a crumpled note wedged between the file binders. Secure room lift access. Require password to be put simultaneously in terminals in the Proto Lab, the Deutero Lab, and the Director's Office. Okay, so now we're doing an FF7 kind of thing. Really? Fresh discovery would be interesting. Hey, shit. Oh. Beverage station. Probably here. Most other personal effects, you find what is presumably the director's data tablet. A closed locker stands next to the table. I wonder if that's locked. Well, the tablet could be locked too. Whatever. Oh, it swings open easily. No, thank you. Close that, please. Thank you. Move it out to him and begin skimming through the contents. Daily reports. Nothing of note. Most of the key's activation condition remains unsolved. The key triggered an explosion today. Temporary interdimensional portal verified. Continue attempts to stabilize the core energy reactions. 13 researchers sustained fatal injuries in the explosion. Memory faculties of 4 personnel sufficiently intact for endless conversion. Remaining 9 designated for ether reclamation processing. Nothing of note. Rejected resignations of 2 Malala researchers. Major incident. Details of full report. Those 2 inept Malala broke with preservation and absconded with the key. Though the fugitives have since been caught and eliminated, we were too late to recover the relic. The only reason we retained our flesh was to serve Master Calyx as physical instruments to conduct his experiments. Deprived of the object of our research, our existence serves no further purpose. I dare not imagine the depths of his disappointment in me. The complex is to be shut down. All personnel will have their bodies reduced to ether. which will be allocated for further experimentation. Memory data will be archived. Any endless conversions will be subject to Master Calic's discretion. If he does not deem us fit, then we are not deserving of eternal life. X. All personnel have undergone processing. Once the shutdown protocols have been completed, I will proceed with my own corporal dissolution. Exsanguination. As long as the key remains in the physical world, we must keep this complex in pristine condition. Whether it be needed for experiments or otherwise, it must be ready to support future operations in whatever capacity Master Calic requires. To that end, facility equipment will be maintained in stasis mode. Furthermore, a critical component for secure room access will be stored separately to defend against unauthorized entry. Cool. Let's go here. Collection of cells, they appear to be empty. Okay. I thought that would be a waste of time. Well, so would the coffee maker. Heavily dormant for years, now active coffee maker has already entered a self-cleaning cycle. It appears to have no other purpose beyond brewing coffee, though it remains to be seen when it will be able to do so once more. Cool beans. Why is this open again? Cluttered side table. Okay, Director Demetrius' personal data tablet, locker space. Take another look. Open the locker. You ain't checking the binders? Okay, so I guess we just have to her now? Oh, I haven't seen that. Have you found something? Yeah, man, all the notes. All the notes are yours. Enjoy. Make sure we still live streaming. Yes, we are. Okay. Thank you. A misplaced note, was it? It's 11:23 and I still haven't got this. The instructions for access to the secure room, no less. Seems we need to enter a password on 3 different terminals at the same time. There was no such room marked on the map, was there? No precautionary measure, no doubt. And if passwords are involved, I expect the access lift itself is concealed too. Concealed by electrope, you mean? Oh, could it be that wall? Well, those seems to all when I walk past. We need your Stola here so we can see through walls. Remember what Kakiwa used to say, Shell? Never trust an electrope surface. Electrope isn't always what it appears to be. You can pass right through electrope. My side hurts. Truly, I've never had that property in my time. Iroka's having a little fun, I think. What we mean is electrope can project a false appearance. In which case, it shouldn't be too hard to disable. That's what happened in the throne room. Before we fought Beatrix or Zelenia. Another door. I've managed to deactivate the projection, but the lock is another story. Didn't that note lay out the passport protocol? I said we go ahead and try it. Man, this is taking forever. Oh my god. I agree, 2 people should prepare the lab terminals for input while the rest of us look for passwords here in the office. I'll take the proto lab. And I'll take the Deutero lab. Actually, it might be better if you stayed, Fiend. Your knowledge of Alexandria and its people could be needed here. Yes, you're right. The passwords are hiding behind clues. That may be something I can help with. I can help too. I've lived my whole life in Alexandria, after all. I'll take Deutero lab duty then. We can keep in touch via communicator to match our timing. Hey, Rock, you should have the honor of entering the office password. Dude! Once we determine what we need to input, take your place at this terminal. I'll stand by to guide Wuklamat and Kral through the process. Dude, come on. You know, there was that display plate over there, the one with the gems. I thought since it was made of electrope, it might have some other purpose. Yeah, it's missing one. I couldn't find any switches or buttons to make it do anything. Maybe you can figure it out? Yeah, it's missing that rectangle. Which is probably green. I think it's green. Oh, does he want me to put the key inside of it? Take it out, put the key. 2 jewels are embedded in electroplate. You identify the blue gem as sapphire and the red gem as garnet. Garnet. There also appears to be an empty slot, another jewel to fill. I ain't messing with y'all. You've discovered enough clues to deduce the password. Try exploring the immediate area. Is the locker useful now? Nope. Still terrifying and useless. Thanks. What should I say? Let's look at the reports. What's the password used? Now they're making me mad. I read that. I'm too sleepy to be putting all this thinking into stuff. Can't y'all just play the story in peace? Alexandra! Glad to talk to Guja. Yes. It's off his snug in the place. Also immediately afterwards, the glowing lines of a diagram appear on the display, accompanied by a short phrase. Decorative pattern? Arcane circuit? Floor plan of this complex. Continuing studying the display, you realize these shapes correspond to the rooms of this complex. You should now stand this way. Pass where you look for. Huh? What's this? The words appear to be handwritten. Yes, maybe the jewel will come in handy. Let me see. Heed the stones. This must be about the special meaning Alexandrians have for gems. It's an old belief, I think, where each type of gem means something different. I bet if you ask Fiend, tell you more about her. After all, even her name comes from a gemstone. Right. Garnet responds to the Doodle Lab. Sapphire. Rector's office. Yes, you have a question you only ask. Salute Alexandrite. Alexandra was the concept of protection. It is incidentally also the word to Alexandra's name. Oh, are you thinking it has something to do with the password? A sapphire and garnet as well, you say? Yes, they all have meanings. Alexandrite, as it says, protection. Sapphire represents honesty, and garnet symbols devotion. Oh, okay, garnet from FF9. Let's try these words at the terminals and see if they're accepted. I certainly hope we're right. Oh. Well, that explains everything. So, protection here. Honesty at the top and devotion at the bottom. Got it. All set to go here with my primary passwords. Let's start with Wuklamas in the Proto Lab. Where should she enter? Hold up. Is Proto Lab the top one? Or the bottom one? I can't remember. Okay, it was the top one. So, honesty. Honest. I didn't know honest. Honesty. Devotion. Protection. Yes. I'm so glad that worked. This room is the only place we have yet to search. That relay is anywhere, it has to be in there. Adventure as soon as we come out, crowd will join us. Okay, can we finally get the dungeon? Speaking of gemstone symbology, for Alexandrian's fiend holds the meaning of eternal light. When my parents named me, it was with their wish that I become an unwavering beacon of hope for our people. To think on it now, I have ever shared that destiny with my other self. Well, that went well. Excellent clue finding, Erox. Shut up. Alright, everyone, time to board the lift and see what awaits us. It better be the dungeon, because I'm getting sleepy. I have work tomorrow. Is this voice activations?
This terminal doesn't look special to me, but this is definitely what we're after?
It is. But whether or not it will suffice for our purposes is another question.
So many questions.
The Endless are created using the memories of the deceased. But as memories are, in essence, collections of data, the resultant entities have no physical form. These data entities, as we might call them, have only two methods for interacting with the material world. One of these we saw in Living Memory, where the Endless are granted temporary bodies through the use of corporeal ether. They become much like solid ghosts that one can see and touch. The other method, which Kafkiwa employed, is the remote operation of a machine. But where do you suppose the Endless are to be found when not inhabiting a physical body? The Endless are memories, and if memories are data, then... Yes, we suspect they reside in a virtual domain, one contained entirely within an electro-based machine. We've seen such a realm before, after all.
Oh, you mean like the Alexandria made from the Endless Fiend's memories? It all seems so real.
So this virtual domain, it would also be housed within the Meso terminal.
But how? I thought we shut down all the terminals in living memory.
You did. And Kafkiwa's program performed just as she intended. The Meso terminal itself was deactivated, as evidenced by the failure of the device which was keeping Sphne's body in stasis. Be that as it may, we face a master of electrope engineering. That he managed to partition and protect the sector harboring his own memories is well within the bounds of possibility.
Let us say that the Meso terminal does indeed contain a second domain, and that Calyx himself resides there. This city, on the other hand, exists here in the source. That being the case, I thought perhaps we could prevent his remote interference by closing the gate to the Golden City, and thus severing the connection between worlds.
Except I tried to close it once already when I visited living memory. The process required administrative authorization, a restriction I assumed at the time had been imposed by the Queen.
But now you think Calyx might be responsible.
Just as I suspected. Even now, security transmissions from throughout the Keep are being tapped by the core system and routed elsewhere.
So just back to giving him the sword, I guess.
Almost every single one has you as its focus. He's keeping track of the keyholder's movements.
Time's up, and what a waste of time it's been. Hoping to find me by tracing security data? That will not be necessary. Through a not inconsiderable effort, I've taken your measure and prepared a force sufficient to subdue you.
So we just needed to wait on you, is what you're saying?
Come. I invite you to the upper reaches of the Meso terminal. The storage device which holds my memories is there. Break the memory bank and victory is yours. I, in turn, will seek to wrest the key from you with any and every means at my disposal.
And if we refuse this invitation?
You're gonna kill everybody.
I will wait and continue to convert Alexandrians into Endless. Consider the urgency of the situation and make the wiser choice.
Answer me one question, Calyx. The Endless Sphene. When she was queen, you had her face an impossible task, then manipulated her into using the key when she was at her most desperate. If you can do all that, then why not whisk it away when her plans went to ruin? Why let it fall into our hands?
You pour salt in the wound. That disaster was a miscalculation on my part. As her end drew near, Sphene and her restructured memories had become one with the terminal's control systems. In that singular place, in that singular moment, she wielded an authority greater than mine. Thus she was able to shield you, the neighboring sovereign to whom she entrusted her nation's future, and the hero to whom she entrusted that priceless key.
So we just need to get that authority again for the current Sphene, right?
I am unsure to what degree she perceived my presence, but she knew that someone was watching.
But you probably have to like mail
Does that
it.
satisfy your curiosity?
And Arsene is all flesh, so that probably wouldn't work.
It does. And I'm satisfied that you will take nothing more from this nation. Not one more life, not one more future, not one single smile from another child's face. You hear me?
He's like, bring it.
Sorry for losing my temper.
You always lose your temper.
There's only one way we can deal with people like Calyx. Whatever grand future he envisions, someone will be made to pay the price. And I won't let that happen.
Let's plan our next move. He's wrong if he thinks he's taking our measure. I ain't saying I'm with you because I don't like you, Luke Lamont.
If I may, I realize it is not my place to say this.
Sure it is.
Even so, I must thank you both. On behalf of my other self, allow me to say how grateful I am to have you as our champions.
For sure. No, champion singular. Champion singular, and then I can agree with that. Whew, well, that was an adventure. I know, man. Took forever. May have been the method Shale was hoping for, but at least now we know where to find Calyx and what we need to do next. Indeed, while I remain curious about Preservation's research into the key, that is an investigation for another day. Indeed. Maybe 7.4. Now let's head straight to the back room. We should get everyone on the same page before we make our move. And I gotta change the color of this, of the suit. So, well, I'll go ahead and talk to her first. So-and-so, that so-and-so Calyx, he waited until I was this close before snatching away my mode of triumph. In that infuriating, condescending way he spoke to us. We'll see whose time is up, you smug little weasel. Anyway, I know things didn't go to plan, but we learned a great deal about preservation. The knowledge could come in handy in the days to come. Though I may not be able to contribute much to the direct confrontation, I mean to see this through with you all providing whatever support I can. Let's get this show on the road already. One of our own. Erock, we've briefed Aaronville on everything that has happened and sent word to the others. We've now but to consider what our next actions will be. Case has offered you the opportunity to confront him directly. And though it feels much like striding face first into an ambush, we have little choice. If we are to destroy the memories he supposedly has stored in the upper reaches of the Meso-Terminal, then that is where we must go. While I'm still upset about being deprived of my moment, I nevertheless did my due diligence. Hold on real quick. Make sure the live stream is still on deck. Are we live? Hit the live button. Okay, we still live. Well, I'm upset about being deprived. Okay, I read that already. I can confirm that the relay we found was indeed transmitting surveillance data to the device somewhere in living memory. When you go to fight Calyx, pray, let me fight alongside you. Let me fight for the memory of Otis and Zelenia, and for the other Sphene I may have become, but most importantly for my beloved kingdom and a joyful tomorrow. Has always been your fight, as much as ours, if not more, of course, with no reckless heroics. If things take a grim turn, I'll keep you safe. This is her kingdom. Thank you for understanding what this means to me. I'll be coming with you as well. You know my reasons. No! Go back to Tulia Lal. It hardly needs saying, but your fellow Scions also have every intention of accompanying you into battle. Y'all have been keeping them gone this entire time. So adamant were Alize and the others on this point that they have already left for living memory. I am more than ready to do the same. Sounds like a plan, Stan. I'll keep patrolling the streets, signs of trouble, especially from anyone wearing neo-regulators. Should you need anything from me, I'll be on standby here in the back room. I really want to go with you too, but I know I can't. I know that sometimes you have to be patient and trust in your friends. Oh, Iraq, Kron. Oh, Iraq. Kron, I think that we should talk to the song before we leave for living memory. Under Calyx's direction, preservation has helped shape Alexander's society for centuries. Taking him down will have serious consequences, and we need to warn the officials in charge about what we intend. Justifications aside, we shall be acting against the wishes of all who desire to become endless. Exactly. We don't know if Ghassan will approve or oppose our chosen course. But either way, leaving without a word is the wrong thing to do. No, it's not. Come, we should be on our way. Resolution first, yes? Be safe, everyone. We'll see you when it's over. Actually, we're going to the marketplace first. So I can get me a bed of blue to wear. A bed of blue skin. If you know what a blue skin. I'll be back. This blue is too light. I know exactly which one I want, so y'all ain't gotta worry. It's too expensive! Oh, I can't believe they made it that expensive. That's crazy. Metallic green is $25K. Y'all are, you know what? They're so ugly. Seriously. The people here are so ugly. They're just mean for no reason. That was not that expensive last week. Leave y'all. Just rude, dude. I probably need to buy it. I need to change the sword color too. gonna be quick. I'm gonna change the blue on here first. Hit glamour plates. Die. Blue. Reflect. No. Or samurai.
Samurai.
Which one was that one? No. That one doesn't have. Why do I have two of these? I don't have a blue one. Alright. Let's go with this. That's fine. That's fine. Do I have a regular blue? No, I don't. Oh, that's okay. Actually, I can get rid of that. Remove. I don't have anything else I can... Why do I have two of these? Huh. Alright, that'll work. Nah, that's fine. See, now that I saved it there, it'll always be there. I feel like part of me wants to... I mean, that would better fit. I don't really like that sword. That's kind of cool. It's green. I have a question. Where's my other sword? Alright, where's my other sword? No. My other sword. What? The one I leveled up. It's in my adventure thing. That's it. It is not. It is not. What? What? Dude, it's right there. Where's that sword? Maybe I just overlooked it. What? Where is my sword? Wow, that must just on. That mug is just gone. Alright, well, I'm gonna spend all day looking for it. Sorry, folks. Sorry, not sorry. I know where my sword is. I didn't even check what book it was. That's kind of cool looking. Alright, let's get this on the road. Finish it off. Let's go ahead and finish it up. Be done. Excuse me. Look, we're going to destroy everything, sorry. Deal with it.
I see. A difficult situation. In the absence of an official sovereign, I agree that it is not preservation's place to dictate the future of our nation. However, I also cannot simply take a side and declare my support for your efforts to defeat Calyx.
Is that because of the new regulator you wear?
I've yet to register it. I find myself caught between the fear of dying and the desire to carry out the duties of governance. My greatest concern is how we shall stem this ever-increasing terror of mortality when becoming endless is no longer an option. And that's to say nothing of the recent slaughter committed by our own soldiers. The fact that such violence was perpetrated for the very purpose of creating endless will, paradoxically, make it more difficult to endorse your chosen course. It may not seem logical, but for those who lost friends and family in the attacks, halting the creation process altogether would render the deaths of their loved ones utterly meaningless. Is it not cruel to rob them of what little solace they could claim, when we have only just learned what it is to mourn? Tell me, how are we meant to overcome such tragedies?
By facing death and stop being
We
pansies.
stop begging others to teach us for a start. For the longest time, we've been protected by Queen Sphene and the systems put in place by our forebears. The hardships and responsibilities of life were distant things, and we felt entitled to our comforts, even as we barely noticed those who risked everything to keep us sheltered. But no more. From now on, we need to learn on our own. How to live with the promise of death. How to endure the pain of loss. We may never learn to love such things, but we may learn to survive them. The people beyond the barrier, even the Alexandrians of old, they've all had to live with these fears. There's no reason we can't do it too.
I was literally just about to say that. Literally, everybody before you has had to.
What are you all doing here?
Malachite called us in, and the Oblivion members briefed us on the current crisis. You don't stand idly by while your house burns down. We came together and thought about how we could help. Long story short, we've decided to join the fight alongside Oblivion. I say fight, but we're well aware of how little use we'd be in actual combat.
A battle of ideas, on the other hand. Now that we might be qualified to do something about. We'll talk to our neighbors and do our best to quell their fears. Convince them to make the most of this life and enjoy all it has to offer. Perhaps that will help to ease your burden.
It certainly will. Even if a few are assuaged by your words, it will make things easier.
Those who have already registered will be difficult to sway, but there are still many who waver. Those are the ones we'll concentrate on.
Gossan, if you truly care for the people of Alexandria, then now's the time to start thinking of ways to prevent more deaths.
Were I to become endless at the expense of my countrymen's lives, I would regret it for the rest of my existence. Forgive my weakness. When the people have lost their way, it falls to the government to support and guide them. Alexandria can rise above this sorrow and find its way forward once more.
Well, we could throw our iPhones away like that.
Is that not so, Your Majesty?
Indeed it is. No, that wasn't... what I meant to say was...
Got her.
Calm down, Sphene.
Amity, you used her name.
The perfect resemblance to our beloved Queen Sphene has not escaped our notice. Yet we also understand that you are not her. Having to live in secret, unable to share who you really are, that must have been hard on you. When you come back, please tell us all about yourself. I imagine yours is a rather outlandish story. but we're eager to hear it all the same. You're one of us, an Alexandrian, and we don't abandon our own.
Nice.
I promise to return. And when I do, I look forward to speaking with you all.
Nice. Everyone was so warm and welcoming. Alexandrians are, as ever, stalwart people. How glad I am to be home. Thank you, Gassan. That decision must have been difficult to make. If only I could claim the courage to do so came from within. The final push came from Alexandria's citizens and their bravery in taking the first step toward change. Speaking of which, can I ask you to lock that neo-regulator away where no one can get it? That should prevent the registrations from reaching the target number. I should be glad to do so, but I fear it would be to no avail. According to our most recent survey, the number of neo-regulators in circulation exceeds the stated 5,000. I surmise the surplus units are to account for those like myself who have had a change of heart, or otherwise hesitant to register. That does sound like something Calyx would do. Well, we'll have to face him either way, so no point in delaying the inevitable. On to living in memory. No one cares about Aaronville. Him and Luke Lamont can just...
Things seem much the same.
So listen, you have nothing more to fear than any other normal day. Deep breaths. We'll get through this.
You'd be telling them much the same if you were here. I suppose it falls to me now.
How he treated his mom, just bad. And then when she's gone, then he wants to be like, oh, she's amazing. Nah. I got no respect for Brad. Okay, now to living memory. Alright, let's do all this here. Alright guys, as much as I would like to go ahead and finish this, it is 12:10 and I have work in the morning. So, we'll have to call it there. So appreciate you for watching. I will do my best to stream some tomorrow, but for now I'll say bye bye.